Nice.
Hi everyone. Welcome to the Equal Equity show. Equal Equity is a project working in partnership with the National Youth Agency, and it's mainly around capacity building youth practitioners of colour into leadership, management and policy as well. But we've also launched the Impact Incubator, which is working with 21 organisations and supporting them on their journey. But yeah, today we've got Marcel in the building, in the virtual building. And Marcel is from Soul and Sound. He's based in East London, does so much work. So I'm excited to have you here. And it's funny how we met was you messaging me on LinkedIn. So it's important that, you know, we make sure that we give everyone a platform to have a conversation. So yeah, welcome to the show, Marcel. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, Milka. Much love, much appreciated. You know what I mean?
I'm glad to have you.
I'm glad you're in my world right now, so it's all good. You understand? So
yeah. Tell me a little bit more about. I know you do a lot, so I'm just trying to give people a picture around the work that you're doing. Honestly, I was really impressed. I think there's so many layers of the work that you're doing, which is so important. So for me, yeah, it was just important to have a conversation. One, for you to just tell people how you got into, you know, setting up your own CIC and the work that you're currently doing with Healthy Mind, Healthy Grind, and also I know you've got a lot of other things probably you haven't told me about. So yeah, it'll be good to know a little bit more.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no problem, man. So yeah, I set up a CIC, say 2010 March. No, sorry. I set up an organization in 2010. I recently changed to a CIC this year.
Okay.
You know, but I had a limited by guarantee company for a long time, non-for-profit organization for like 10 years. But I was part-time, you know, I was obviously working, juggling, doing what I was doing youth work in between that period. And I was doing, you know, odd projects here and there over the years, you know, and only till COVID, I would say, is when I started really, you know, going in with it, taking it real. Like I always took it serious, but you know, taking it more seriously. You know, you know, due to you know losing my job, COVID. You know, a lot of people lost jobs. I was one of them, and I thought, you know what, take the CIC thing proper.
Wow.
Sorry, you know, my organization turned into a CIC and just do it properly, man, and just go all the way 100 with it. You know, so
amazing.
That's what I did. You know, and yeah, and the reasons for me doing it in the first place was. I was doing youth work, doing a lot of youth work, etc. And I've always worked for other organizations, you know, charities, organizations, whatever. And I thought, you know what, I want to set up my own, I want to do my own kind of, you know, thing. And my mate, he had the experience doing it, and I just linked up with him, told him what I want to do, kind of thing, you know, I wanted to do it around music because that was my background. And the health and wellness stuff came much later, but it was mainly, you know, doing music projects, working in the neighbourhood. I'm from East London, I'm from Hackney. So I was doing stuff in Hackney. And then when I moved to Barking and Dagenham, I started doing stuff up here as well, you know. But yeah, that's the long and short of it, man. That's in regards to the organisation. I can go deeper.
Yeah.
Unless, you know what I mean? If you want me to.
It's so important. I think, like, I don't know, something happened in COVID. Everyone has slowed down. They've either had time to just think about, what they want, whether it's like health, maybe work-life balance, and just, options in life. So I think it's so important that I'm glad you had the time to think about, making it official, like you said, taking it seriously and making it an official CIC and doing the work you're doing. What was it about? So do you think if you didn't lose your job, you would have still set up a CIC, or is it because just COVID circumstance?
That's a good question, you know. That is actually a good question. I think I would have still been kind of semi-stuck on the hamster wheel. I knew already that I wanted to, you know, take it serious and take it that notch, that, you know, that next level up. But I don't think I would have been going as hard as I am now if it wasn't for COVID, because I would have still been in that mindset of, you know, working, coming to work, doing this, because I was working part-time. I wasn't even working full-time. And then, you know, some of in the part-time stuff I was doing Soul and Sound, but I wasn't, you know, it was kind of just, you know, just doing it, you know, and I think I would have just stayed in that mindset, you know. So I'm kind of glad that that, you know, everything kind of shaped, you know, happened the way it happened. Not obviously COVID, but, you know, what happened in my life. Because I've got friends that are still working. They kept jobs through COVID and they're still doing their thing. So even though it affected them, but it affected them differently. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I don't know, you know, it just gave me more of a grind. And that's where Healthy Mind, Healthy Grind kind of was birthed out of, you know, that whole not being at work, having a lot of time to think, you know, and thinking, you know, all the days I was just at home, you know, at work, I was neglecting this, I was neglecting that. And then realizing, okay, I've got to pick up these pieces, you know, do this, bond with my son more, do this, that, and the third. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things was happening. And then I realized my health, my mental health, my physical health was declining because obviously I was on a hamster wheel, innit? I was just going to work every day doing that. Wasn't really taking care of myself as much. And I was like, man, shit's got to change. And that's where Healthy Mind, Healthy Grind got birthed out of, because I just started getting up every day, realizing that I needed to do something. I didn't want to, you know, I was going through a bit of, because obviously, I lost my job, but that weren't the main reason. The main reason was, boy, you know what? I didn't even like my job anyway. You understand? And I realized, I realized that, man, I was just doing it just to get a little bit of money. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't doing it because I liked it.
Yeah.
You know, I was just thinking, boy, what do I like? You know, like, what do I like? And how can I make money or develop something out of what I like doing? And, you know, just how can I? So I was in that weird space, innit?
Yeah.
You understand? And then I just decided, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to roll the dice. Like, I'm not even going back to work. I'm going to work for myself. I'm going to work for myself, and I'm going to bloody build my thing to where it needs to be. And I'm going to do it myself, and I'm going to be happy doing it. And, you know, and that's where the whole Healthy Mind, Healthy Grind thing came from, because it was more of a, listen, you got to listen to yourself first, take care of your gut, take care of your mind, and then your grind will be right. You understand? Like, whatever you're trying to pursue, if you're trying to be an athlete, you got to eat well, sleep well, read, you know, you got to treat your whole 360, 100, and then you'll be able to, you know, perform better. You understand? Whether you're a boxer, whether you're whatever you do.
Yeah.
And it's the same concept. If you're grinding on a day-to-day, you know, setting up a business, you got to make sure that your gut's on point, because that's connected, you know what I mean, to your mind. And then, you know, so that was what happened with me. And when I learned that, I said, how am I going to teach others, innit? How am I going to show this to others coming up, you know, that are going through whatever they're going through COVID or whatever the case may be. So that's where the Healthy Mind, Healthy Grind came from as well.
So what happened? I feel like there's so much in what you said, but what happened for you? Because you said your mental health was kind of going down. You wasn't looking after yourself, and I think that's such a common thing when especially in the sector. I think that's why it's so important around who's there to support youth workers and who's there. Not everyone can access clinical supervision, right? Not everyone has that additional support, additional space where they can have that conversation. How do we support youth workers to not get burnt out and have compassion fatigue and have any more in their cup so they can't do the work?
Trust me, and that's so important, because if we can't, but it's deep, because with me, I'm a bit tough. I'm a bit tough on myself. I just see it as like, no one ain't gonna help me apart from me, innit? Like, I gotta know there's something wrong with me. I gotta realize, boy, I don't feel right. What am I gonna do about it? You understand? If I keep leaning on other people to help me, then I've got to always rely on them. So I'm thinking, no, I've got to rely on myself. So what do I need to do? You know, that is just this is me. Other people's different. You know what I mean? Some people go to therapy every week or whatever, and that's their thing. With me, I was like, I ain't going to nobody. I don't know. I'm just going to figure this shit out. And then I thought to myself, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to just basically slow everything down. Because what I felt was a lot of people, well, I only can speak for myself, but I felt like I had a fear of, if I slow down, then I'm going to be out of the race. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to be out of the, oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay. I wasn't aware he wasn't allowed to, okay, sorry. So I felt like if I slow down, then I'm going to be out of the race. And I feel like a lot of people get scared because they feel, boy, if I slow down, if I stop doing what I'm doing, then I'm not going to get this opportunity, or I'm going to, what do you call it? FOMO, fear of missing out. These things are going to, so I had to teach myself, you know what? Bun what's going on outside. I don't care about that. Yeah, the main thing is that I'm living, I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm getting up every morning, my arms, my legs, my head works, everything works. Let me just start here, you know, and that's what I did. You know, I said, let me start here. Then I thought, okay, next, what is wrong? And then I just slowed down. And it was crazy because COVID, everybody slowed down. Yeah. So that was, like you said, it was the right time. So I slowed down and I just said, yeah, you know what? Every morning, I'm just going to go for a walk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I started, you know, just going for a walk every morning, drinking.
How long is the walk? Sorry, I'm just curious.
The walk was like maybe 45 minutes.
Wow.
You know what I mean? An hour, I'll just walk around the park, put my headphones in, and then just walk. I don't have animals, you know, I don't have a dog. If I had a dog, I would have walked my dog, you know, but I'll just walk, and I'll just walk, and I'll come home and I'll chill, read a book, relax, maybe have a nap. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'll have a bath. I was just doing stuff for me.
That's so important though. It's like the conversations around self-care, especially for men and Black men. It's like, how do you look after yourself? What does that look like? It might be gym. You said your book, your bath, your walk. There's so many there's so many ways that you were looking after yourself in that space. But because you had the time, right? If you wasn't, like you were saying, you were on a hamster wheel before. If you didn't have the time, then you wouldn't be incorporating self-care. Self-care, but it should be part of, you know, every day.
It has to be. It has to be. Like, look, when I used to work in the Peru, like we was talking about earlier, like before we went live, I'll come home with headaches because obviously for those that work in the game, you know, you guys know it's difficult. You know, if you're working in jails or Perus, where, you know, it's like we were saying, it's just high energy all the time. It's, you know, it's intense sometimes. And I was coming home and I just had headaches. I felt sick often. You know, I was always getting the flu or the cold. I was run down. You know, why? Because I knew that I was just going home, sleeping, watch TV, go to bed, wake up, do the same thing the next day. You get what I'm saying? I might go gym, you know, but it's not. It was just, I was just doing it for doing its sake. I wasn't doing it because I was like, I need to really, you know. And what I did find for me, because I used to go gym a lot.
Okay.
But what I realized when I started doing my walks and then walks started into runs. Then I started doing press ups in the park, skipping in the park. Then now I'll do full sets. Like, I'll do full proper exercise sets in the park. And I cancel my gym membership because I thought to myself, I preferred being by myself with my headphones in the park than being around a bunch of people in the gym. That was more therapeutic.
Okay. Is it the space? So that's interesting. I worked in gyms. I don't know if you know this, but I've worked in gyms.
I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, I started working in gyms since I was 16, but COVID again, the last gym I was in closed down, so I haven't been in a gym for a little while. But it's interesting. I've never paid for a gym membership, and I refuse to pay for a gym membership because maybe it's me knowing that I can just get a job and have access to a gym, and I've always done that, but I don't know, maybe, it's really interesting. Like I would pay for a martial arts classes or any other classes where someone is teaching me something. I wouldn't just pay for a space that I have to use by myself.
Right.
So that was like, that's just my thing. But for me, I'm just figuring out, like, I'm trying to understand, is it the fact that you were walking around a green space, you were out in nature, you were out in having fresh air? Was all of that what you call therapeutic? And that was the difference between being in a building.
You hit the nail on the head. That was exactly it. Just being in the green area, seeing birds, bloody ducks, whatever I saw, you know, whatever, just looking at them, figure, you know, duck, you know, like all of these things was just, you know, or I might see like a hedgehog or something weird, you know, that you don't see every day, and it's like these things. Like, to me, which is very, and just if it's cold and the wind and all that, just feeling it, closing your eyes, like all of that. I know it sounds a bit like airy fairy, but I'm telling you,
no, it doesn't.
And then I started going to. I thought, you know what? Where's my local forest? I want to walk in the forest. So I found there's one called Hainault Forest in Essex.
Okay.
So I went Hainault, and then I started going walks in Hainault. I bring my son, and then we'll break branches and stuff and throw it. And, you know, just like all of that. I was like, man, why were I doing this 10 years ago? Like, what's, you know, like, what's going on? Like, you know, and then I get it in it. I started to think, that's why some people do these things, innit? Because it's not, they're just doing it because they just want to challenge. They're doing it because it makes them feel good. Like, you know, I started to realize, that's the feeling you get when you do this. And then I thought, and then I thought to myself, you know what? The man them need to know that. The man them need to, they need to, because I know there's a lot of man them out here that are going through it. There's things going on. And there's, you know, even girls as well, women as well. And it's like simplest things, like you said, not paying. Like, why are we paying for all of these things I'm talking about are free. They don't cost no money.
Yeah.
But you just got to just take out your time and just say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to go for a walk. You understand what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to go and do this. I'm just going to just do it, innit? And it don't cost no money. Like, nah, I swear I don't even pay no money. I don't pay no money for gym, nothing. Everything's simple because I know I can get the same feeling just by going to the forest or going to the park or going, you know. And that's basically, you know, where, so to answer your question, 100%. Outdoors, nature's your best friend, man.
I started going camping. One part of it was normally I leave. I'm like, anytime I get a break, whenever, I will go on holiday, I'll go abroad. If I can't go abroad, I started going camping with work, actually.
Oh, wow.
Like residentials with work. So it was like, and I started experiencing all the things that you're talking about, like doing hikes, setting up, like making a fire and cooking on the fire, sleeping, waking up and listening to like just the trees and animals and birds. And I was like, this is kind of cool, you know, I can do this. It's not too far from London. You can get out of London a little bit and start doing it. So I've been going camping. I try and go like at least once a year if I'm in London. Like if I'm in the UK, sorry.
Wicked.
I'll try and do. I haven't gone last. I think I went just before the pandemic or just after pandemic. Right. We went to like near Lake District and we did like a hike and
wow.
It was just nice.
Yeah, I heard the Lake District is nice. I want to go on Lake District one day.
Yeah, it's nice. Like even Peak District, all these. There's so many places in the UK, and like you say, if you don't have the money to go outside of London, find a park, find a forest near you. That's free.
It's in your mind. You understand? It's that if you're in your mind, you just got to find the area that you think, you know what? Yeah, I can get a little peace of mind here. You know, I can just relax, go there at a certain time during the day, whether that's mad early in the morning. You understand? I like going in the morning where the air is like mad cold and crisp, you know, and I like doing that. And just when you got your music or whatever you like listening to, you just go there, and for me, that's me. Everybody's different, but that's where I birthed, you know, the whole healthy mind, healthy grind element.
And then you became vegan within that period too.
Yeah. So I was you know what's weird?
Plant-based. So this is a conversation in itself. Bring it.
Yeah. So vegan, obviously, but plant. I will consider myself. Well, now I will consider myself veggie. I've gone back because I started eating. I'm slipping. So I started. So basically, I was vegan for maybe a year or so, I think. And before that, I was pescatarian. So what happened was I was pescatarian, then vegetarian. So I kind of weaned. You know, I kind of just went like this. So I ended up being vegan, plant-based, no dairy, none of that. And it was only really because I didn't drink milk anyway. It was easy for me. I didn't eat red meat anyway. You understand? The only thing I cut out was the fish and chicken and then and the dairy, you know, and it was kind of easy for me anyway. So, but I like cheese, you know, I always like cheese, like cheddar cheese and stuff like that. And I was like, that was the hardest for me to cut out. But eventually I did it and I was vegan. So during that period, I was vegan.
So many changes, man.
So
many changes within that one period.
Yeah. But even before I was vegan a little bit, but that's when it kind of I just took it more serious because I was in my house more so I could watch what I'm eating more. You know, cooking, I found myself cooking more, stuff like that, all of that. So yeah, I was vegan through that period. I lost quite a bit of weight. Just working out every day, went on Instagram, following these little hench workout guys. I was thinking, okay, I want to watch what you're doing and try and copy it in the part, you know what I mean? So I was doing all of that. And then And I still do it, to be honest, I still do it. But yeah, the plant-based thing, but I don't push it on no one, you know what I mean? I just tell people, look, this is what I like, this is what I do. I'm not perfect. I still drink a bit of alcohol on the weekends. Sometimes I might have the occasional crisp here and there. And, it is what it is. But I believe in balance, everything. I don't want to be this strict. You get these strict vegan guys and I don't eat none of it. I don't eat that. That's cool. That's good for you. But I like to have a little, sometimes have a little treat, and that's just how I see it. I just see it. So if you're aware, you'll care more. You understand? When you're not aware, you just don't know it because you're just eating whatever, because you're not aware. You don't know what you're putting in your body. You don't know because no one ain't told you or you ain't done the research. But luckily for me, my boy told me, he helped me, put me on game. Okay. And he made me aware. And then I started doing my own research. Oh, what is it? What is in this? Like, what's in that? Reading the back of stuff.
Okay.
Googling it. Started Googling what this means. Then I'm like, what the hell? What? I've been eating this? Nah, bun that. So I just said, nah, you know what? I'm dropping this out. I'm going to stop doing this. And then I just slowly, just over time, just started dropping certain things. And now it's natural. It's natural for me to go to a shop, pick up an item and look straight at the back. Okay, what's in the back? Read it. If I don't get it, if you don't say what, I'll just put it down. And I'll just keep it moving. You understand? So I'm just more aware now. So
that's so important. And I think, so following on from that, I know if you're aware, you're saying you'll make better choices.
Yeah.
But if you are still in the rat race and you're still running around, you don't have the time. And emotionally, if you're running around emotionally, you're fatigued. How do you make better life choices? How do you make better health choices as well? In that kind of.
Yeah. Because like I said, I started before COVID and all of that. COVID didn't just change my life. Like it helped, you know what I mean? But I was on this journey anyway before. And then COVID just kind of really just made it 10 times even, you know what I mean? So even when I was on the hamster wheel, it took me, it was harder, obviously, but when I was feeling a certain way or when I was, I would definitely, because I knew better, it would cause me to react. So I'll be like, okay, I'm feeling like this. What do I need to do? All right, boom. Okay, boom, boom, boom. And then I'll start making the right choices in a sense, or I'll speak to my boy or I'll do some research and I'll just basically took that extra little bit of time out to figure out what I need to do in order to improve my PNM, my physical nutrition, mental health. Like I just took that time right there. I just said, you know what I mean? Whereas before, years ago, I would ignore it. I'll just think, it's just the way I am. It's just the way I feel. Oh man, I'm tired. It is what it is. Like I might feel.
So it's a mindset then. What you're saying is something about your mindset. I guess it's like when we talk about change, whatever change we're talking about, it might be the work that you're doing with young people, might be personal change, your own health, your own overall well-being and the changes you want to make. But there's something about trial and error as well. Like you try, then it might not go so well, you try again. Like the cycle of like change and how we get there. Like, are we ready for change? Then we might start actioning that change. Then we might slip up. It happens, right?
You're gonna slip up, of course.
And then you try again, go back into action. So
but that's the key thing.
The stages of change is what I mean. It's interesting.
Yeah. But that's the key thing. Trying again. Don't give up in it.
Okay.
That's how I see it. We got one line. I know it sounds cliche, but we got one line. Why not try and get a 6-pack? Why not try and be the healthiest you can be? Why not try and, you get what I'm saying? Why just be content with what you know what I mean? If you don't feel well mentally and physically, why give up? Why just be like, you know what, it's just the way it is. And that's how I was when I was early 20s. I was 18 stone, 19 stone, big, fat, just eating chicken and chips, hustling, whatever I was doing. And I just thought, this is my life, innit? This is just the way it's gonna be, like it is. And I kind of had that, like I gave up. You get what I'm trying to say? But for me, it just took someone to come in my life, start having these conversations about health and and it just made me start thinking about myself and looking, you know what I mean? Not everybody's got that person around them, So that's why I always say to people, it's important that when you do feel like this and you haven't got somebody to go to, just think, what is the next best option?
Okay.
What is the next best option? Do you get what I'm saying? You know, let's not run straight to the doctors. You know, let's not run straight to them and get prescription pills. You know, what holistic way can we deal with whatever we're going through? You know, the internet's our best friend. You understand what I'm trying to say? What I choose to do, even to this day, if I feel like something ain't right, you know, and I feel like I'm low in something, or I feel like I'll just reach what holistic ways can I, you know, for example, my vitamin D. I know every winter, my vitamin D, as I'm a black man, yeah, like, I just know, like, I start feeling a bit weak, and I'm like, so I just think, what herbs can I use to help, you know, to improve my vitamin D,
Okay.
you know, what things, and I'll just go on holistic, you know, I do your research. That's what I say to everybody I talk to. Go online, go on Google, holistic, you know, find out natural ways, natural solutions to deal with your issue. You understand? Don't just run straight to the doctor, because they're just going to give you pills. And who's making money out of these pills, man? You understand? These pills, they got all these side effects. They got all these things that, you know, could possibly go wrong when you keep taking these pills every single day. And it's like, we don't want to live on pills. I got an auntie, she just lives on pills. You understand? I don't want to be like her. No disrespect to my auntie. I love her. You get me? But I'm thinking, man, before they invented pills, how did people heal themselves?
It's really interesting.
Yeah, like these things still exist. Like, it's not, you know, so why can't we, you know, figure out, and just, if we don't know, just do the research, like, you know what I mean? Or find out, go on and find out who you think might know. Who do I think might know? You know, whether it's a friend, somebody, just take that step. Take that step. It don't cost no money, man. And it's your health at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's how.
So alternative medicine, I think, is so interesting. Everything that you're saying around what are the ways that we can heal ourselves, and what, like, how are people, so we can talk about indigenous communities, we can talk about our own communities, people of color globally. How are they healing? How are they healing all the things that we might be healing, all the things that we go to a doctor for? How do other communities in rural places in Africa, Asia, South America, exactly, how are they healing, and what are the natural remedies and natural ways of healing? I think that to me is like such a fascinating thing. I'd love to be able to travel and see, even like what's it called, like the alternative. So I'll give you an example. I had chronic back pain, so I've done physio for years. I've gone to have acupuncture, cupping. I went through the kind of the norm. I've had just so many different things that have tried to help me. I guess overall, long term, everything has been short term fix. It hasn't really helped long term. But from another layer is having conversations around how we embody trauma. So like when we experience trauma, or when we experience something that traumatic event, sometimes it does come into our body, and that's the kind of the aches and pains that you're talking about when you were working in the Peru, having headaches. Sometimes it is physically you're carrying a lot, and I think there's so many. I'm not saying my back pain is definitely linked to trauma or things I'm carrying, but I'm saying that's a possibility, and that's another way of thinking about our aches and pains and what it means. So especially around the gut, for example, I know someone, because they were under so much stress, they got stomach ulcers, and that was just because of stress and grieving and carrying a lot emotionally, and they got stomach ulcers, and from that IBS. So things that manifest into the body can actually, the source of it can also be psychological trauma. So yeah, it's interesting when we talk about healing, or when we talk about looking after ourselves mentally, physically, psychologically, that can also, it's kind of, having a holistic approach, thinking about the body and the mind and the impact of both, rather than just the body and just the mind.
Big facts.
So 100%. Yeah, it's just interesting.
100%. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm still learning. You know, like, you know, and what you're saying, you just hit the nail, man. You know, and it's like finding out, and sometimes, like, you know, you'll be surprised, but when you ask your elders as well, like, you know, like you ask your elders, like, what would be the best thing to, and they always refer back to the herbs, man. You know what I mean? You understand? Oh, just boil this. And you understand? Because that's how they grew up, just grab the tree and boil that. And that's, that's what we need to go back to, to living, getting the herbs, man, these natural things, because it's been there for thousands and millions of years. Let's start using these things. Let's stop relying on these man-made, chemicals and stuff to heal us. Because like you said, it's temporary, like we got to think long-term, like, you got the back pain. There might be something that, you're not digesting. There might be something that you're not taking on a regular basis to help with your back pain. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
We don't know, but we just don't know.
You said when you were like early 20s, you were like, you said you lost a lot of weight, and you said you were going to eat in chicken shops a lot. That's really interesting, because I know you're also doing work around the program that you're actually delivering in schools, the Silent Killer, right? Tell me a bit more about that. That's something that I guess I'm connecting it to yourself, but is that how that came about?
Well, yeah. So kind of both. It's kind of mad, because with the Silent Killer, definitely I was chicken shops were my silent killer growing up, because when I was growing up, chicken shop, we was allowed that at school. So after year 7, well, only year 8s, 9s, 10s, and 11s were allowed that, but we used to sneak out anyway in year 7. but where we was going to the chicken shop, go chicken shop, buy £1. At them days, it was £1 chicken and chips. I don't know what it is now, but at that time, it was £1 chicken and chips. Go to the fields, sit down, eat your chips, bust jokes to your friends, go back to school, And then after school, you do the same thing, you know what I mean? But either way, it became a culture, And I see this culture to this day, with the young kids, 15, 14, 13, leaving school, going straight to the chicken shops, as we know, is a big problem on the news and all of this kind of stuff. But I decided to go a little bit one step deeper. Not scientist or anything like that, but I was thinking, boy, is there a link between, like, obviously, because this is how I started it. I thought, okay, if I drink bare alcohol, I'm going to be drunk. I'm going to mash up my liver, yeah? If I eat bare McDonald's, I'm going to mash up my everything. I'm just going to mash up everything, you know what I mean? And it's going to be a wrap for me, innit? So I thought to myself, surely these kids eating chicken and chips every day is mashing them up. Like, it's got to be. No matter how athletic we see them running in the playground every day or whatever they're doing, PE or whatever they're doing, I'm like, surely these kids, it's got to be mashing them up. And then I thought to myself, how was I when I was 20-something? Because it takes a long time, right? It's not, if you're eating oily foods and all that, it's not like, how can I say, drinking alcohol within 30 minutes, you're drunk, you fall over. Like, when you eat food like that constantly, it takes years for it to actually really like take an effect on you, So I realized, boy, when I was 21, 22, I was 19 stone, 18 stone, big, and I thought to myself, boy, that must have been all the years of when I was going to school. Not all my friends were like that. Some of my friends were skinny, but we was not healthy. You understand? We was not healthy. When I was 20, 21, all my friends that didn't exercise or work out or anything like that, and we just smoked weed every day, chilled, drinking, eating chicken licking or whatever we was eating, we was not healthy. If we had to have a race, we all fall down. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, what got us to that place, innit? So that's why I created the workshop, because I thought to myself, if somebody came into my school or whatnot, when I was in school eating chicken and chips every day, and said, yo, brethren, this is how you gonna, like, this is what it does, this is what it's doing to you. Do you know where these men are getting the chicken from? Do you know this? Do you know where? And they started explaining it in more depth. I'll be like, well, I don't know about eating this chicken and chips, like I'll have a what's it called? I'll be aware.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So next time I just, my friends are like, yo, let's go Dixie. I'll be like, boy, you know what? I remember what my man said to me that day. And I'll be looking at it. Yeah, I'll be looking at things in a different light. You get what I'm saying? You look at things in a different light, So that's my whole point of the workshop. I just want to spread awareness and say, look, not every chicken and chip shop is grimy and they got 0 ratings. No, you know what I mean? But more times out of 10, the areas that we live in, the deprived areas or whatnot in London, more time out of 10, these man, they're not, you know, it's not hygienic. These places ain't hygienic, and you can just see when you go in there and you look behind the counter, you know what I mean, or certain you think, boy, and then the oil, they ain't changing the oil from you know, God knows however long. And so, you know, I talk about all of this in the workshop, and I talk about it, and I say to him, look, man, like, just use your brain in it. I'm not telling you don't go and eat chicken and chips or whatever, chips or whatever your Savoy, whatever you decide to eat. I'm not saying don't eat it. I'm just saying be aware, of what you're eating or what you're putting in your body and the long-term effects, because I talk about the gut-brain axis. Which I'm not sure if you're aware, but the gut-brain axis, basically, like, it's all connected in your brain, your gut, through a nerve called the vagus nerve. And that nerve, you know, millions of neurons and all that, it's all connected. And also serotonin, which makes us feel good, is produced over 95% of it is produced in our gut. So if we want to feel good, we need to make sure we feed our gut with good stuff. So then that is like, the gut loves what we're putting in it. It produces more serotonin, and then in turn we feel happy. But if we're eating chicken and chips from PFC or whatever every single day, that's not going to be, you know, it's not going to be great for our gut. And then guess what? It's going to do the opposite. It's going to, you know, we're going to feel anxious, depression, anxiety. And I've even linked it to maybe, is this the reason why there is crime? You know, could this be an element of why there's crime in deprived neighborhoods in London and stuff, because of the lack of access that we have to, you know, healthy food and healthy products, and the lack of knowledge around cooking your own food, learning how to make your own meals and all of that kind of stuff, because it's not really promoted hard among our community. You know, we should be cooking at 13, 14, you know, standard. We should be cooking healthy. We should know how to chop an onion. And you get what I'm saying? I didn't learn how to start cooking until I was 20 something. You know what I mean?
Really? That's interesting.
But you know, but some people, like a lot of a lot of people I know, they don't even know how to cook to this day. They rely on their missus, like, my missus does the cooking. What do you mean? You understand? You understand? So it's like, man, like, if we knew how to cook then, at 14, 13, maybe that money we was giving to PFC, we can use that money and say, yo, let's go, rather than bunking and going PFC, yo, let's go Morrison and I want to go shopping still and just buy some rice, buy some tomatoes, you get me? You know, buy some stuff. I know it sounds far-fetched, but boy, you know, and then buy some stuff and they say, well, when I go yard, I'm going to chop up some food. And this is what I say in my workshop, especially to the boys. I'm like, listen, you learn how to cook, I'm telling you, you're going to get gag. You get it? Because you say, I could cook, you know, I could cook this. And it's something you can use to impress people. And also it's a life skill. You understand?
Yeah, definitely a life skill.
It's a life skill, more importantly. So, and you know what you're putting in your food. You don't know what PFC's putting in that chicken, whereas you know how much salt you're putting in, how much sugar, and you can control it.
So I want to pull you back a bit. So when you talked about the impact of food, how it impacts our well-being, our mental health, and you linked it to violence.
Right.
Tell me a bit more. I'm just curious to find out about.
So
your research. I know you've probably done lots of research now.
Yeah, I've done research and stuff. So I think initially so basically when I was developing the program, I was just thinking to myself, man, like during my research, I was just thinking, well, if in my mind, I was like, because I'm one of them logical thinkers, innit? I was just like, well, if serotonin is produced there, and you know, like I was just thinking, and then we got a lack of it, and then obviously it causes you to have anxiety, depression, all of these things. You know, I'm thinking, well, surely when you're in that state of mind, you don't feel well. So if something bothers you, you're going to react to it more, you know, aggressively, or you're going to be a bit more snappy because you're already in that state of mind, right? Because because of the food that you're eating, you know, all of that, you know, you got that kind of feeling, you're not in a happy mood because that chemical's not being produced enough. So I thought to myself, could this be a reason why some of our young people, not the main reason, because there's so many different reasons.
Yeah, so like a factor, right?
Yeah, it could be one of the factors. I'm thinking, could this be one of the factors? So I started doing a study, and it led me to a lady called Lucy, forgive me, Lucy, I forgot your last name, but Lucy, and she's got a study called Food Behind Bars, and she got it's an organization that she created. So big up Lucy, but she talks about all of what we're talking about now.
Okay.
And she talks about basically prison food. Like, is it, it doesn't have any nutritional stuff in it or whatnot. It doesn't, like, it's not beneficial for the prisoners. Like, so that food what they're giving them, and you'll know because you've worked in that in that system. So it's like the food they're giving them is not nutritional. It's not giving them anything to make them want to, because we all know food is what makes you feel good, right? You eat a good healthy meal, you feel good. So she started this campaign. So I saw her on TED Talks. So I watched it, I reached out to her, and then me and her started having a conversation. And then she was like, boy, there's an organization called Think Through Nutrition. And they done a study where they went into a jail. I think it was Ellesby prison for 2 years. Yeah, they went into Ellesby for 2 years. I'm not sure when, I can't remember what year it was when they did it. But they took 231 prisoners and they gave half of them capsules that are full of omega-3 acids, vitamins, all of this stuff. And the other half didn't have nothing. Like, it was a placebo. So they thought they had it, but they didn't have nothing in it. And then after the 2 years, they tested them again, pinprick test. And mind you, all of these prisoners that they tested, they all had like violent offenses, they was getting written up every day, they was getting into stuff in jail and, all kinds of manders. So then that's why they picked, these specific.
That makes sense.
Individuals. And then at the end of the 2 years, the ones that had been taking it, the omega-3s, not only, obviously the researchers knew who took it. And there was a 37% drop in violent offenses, write-ups, all of that. There was a massive drop, just over, and basically it worked out to be like 37 point something % drop, and the ones that didn't, the ones that took the placebo, everything just continued the same for them. There was continued the same behavior, they was doing the same stuff what they was doing before. And I just thought, to me, that was just, that's it right there. You understand what I'm saying? The science is that's the answer, so it just blatantly just goes to show that what you put inside your body definitely affects the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. So these kids living in these environments like Hackney or Brixton, Peckham, or wherever they're living, and they don't know how to cook. They might come home, mummy's not about, mummy's working a long shift, whatever, or, money's just on the table going by, whatever, you know what I mean? Or you get what I'm saying? Or there might be food at home, but that's another thing that I'll talk about, is the food that we eat culturally as well. Is that even healthy for us? Like, no disrespect, I'm Caribbean, I'm not, you're Ethiopian, right?
Yeah.
I love Ethiopian food, by the way. I love it. But, but the food that we eat culturally sometimes could be detrimental to our health too. You understand what I'm saying? Heavily.
The portion size as well. It's not even just
portion sizes. It's mad oil. You understand? You're eating oxtail, whatever it is, every single day. Like, eating red meat every day. First of all, this is a no. You understand what I'm saying? Like, even the NHS, even bloody, and that's the NHS. Like, we don't. But they even say it. Cut down. They cut down on your red meat portions. It says it online. You know what I mean? So it's like. But us as a culture, especially as Black people, this is in our culture. Do you get what I'm saying? Red meat, if you're West African, South African, Caribbean, wherever you're from, East Africa, like, it's in our culture.
It is. The meat dishes, there is. 100%.
Yeah, it's like, and so, but it's just being aware, in it, like, so it's, so my workshop's just all about just spreading awareness and saying, look, man, like, I'm not here to tell you don't eat this, don't eat that. I'm just here to tell you, just be aware of what you are putting in your body, and basically how it can affect the way you move in society. So if you want to be, because I always say this, you want to make peas, you want to make money, right? You want to be rich, you want to be a successful businessman. You want to run a business. You don't want to work for no one. You want to work for yourself. And, you know what I mean? When you ask a lot of young people, I want to start my own business. I want to, you want to do this. If you want to do this, that's wicked. You get me? Go ahead. But you can't do that if you don't feel good with inside your mind. Your gut's got to be healthy. Your mind's got to be healthy. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all these top men, they're healthy guys. Don't ever get it twisted. Jeff Bezos don't look out of shape to me. You understand? He looks like he runs. I guarantee if you check what Bezos, his health, I don't know, I've never checked, but I guarantee if I checked, Jeff Bezos gets up in the morning, he goes for a run, he's watching what he's eating. I guarantee you, because that's what gives you extra performance in your business. So if you want to make money and you want to grind, your mind and your body's got to be right too. It's got to work. You can't be unhealthy and lethargic and be how are you going to be motivated to get up and send emails and be on the phone every day if you're just slumped every day? Do you get what I'm saying? Or you're wake up in the morning and you're like, you ain't gonna have the energy to do that. So that's why I say healthy mind, healthy grind.
Okay. Mic drop, healthy mind, healthy grind.
Mic drop, healthy mind.
I was gonna pull you up on one more thing. So if I'm just thinking about the feedback, what was the feedback from the young people, one? And my second question's around, outside of like just food, what does a chicken shop serve for young people? Why are young people in chicken shops? Because I remember being young, chicken shop was like hours of my day after school. If I was allowed, like depending on what year you're in, you can go out, right? Yeah. But it was, like what was it? What does a chicken shop actually serve in terms of a space for young people? And how was the feedback around the workshops you've delivered so far?
I've had mixed feedback.
Interesting.
I've had mixed feedback. Some young people I don't, you know what I mean? Like they're just like, it is what it is, innit? Like I'm like, okay, thank you for telling me, you know what I mean? But I'm still gonna do my thing, kind of thing. And then some young people are like, boy, you know what? I like what you're saying, so I've had mixed feedback. And then some of the teachers have been hating on me as well.
Really?
Some of them, I've been getting hated on. Some of the teachers like, oh well, I don't think questioning, when you said so there was one part I was talking about the heart, and I was like, look, so basically I said, what's the main killers in society? And then some people was like, oh, I think it's knife crime, I think it's drugs and alcohol, I think it's stress or whatever, everyone had their thing. And then I said, okay, cool. So I'll put the survey up. I was like, well, according to the most recent 2020 study, number 1 is Alzheimer's. Yeah. Number 2 is heart disease. Yeah. Heart failure. Yeah. And number 3 is COVID. Yeah. Wow. So I don't see knife crime on there. I don't see, you get what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that people are saying that there's not on there. But what I do see on there is heart failure and heart disease. That's number 2. And that's down to what you eat. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And a lot of people, obviously, of a certain age, obviously, like I said earlier, it takes years in it for it to build. Impact. And then the lady, one of the teachers was like, well, yes, even though it does say that, but I do feel like knife crime and rare and all this. And she was just like, it's not just solely down to what you eat and rare. And she started giving it, giving me the, and I was like, miss, do your thing, talk. Like, if you got your views, whatever the case may be, but I'm not going by views, I'm going by numbers. This is what it says. This is somebody collected this data. This is what they do for a living. They collect data. And it says it right here. This ain't, I didn't make this up. I got this I went online, went to the right place, and I thought this is the statistic. So I was just like, like people want to challenge you in it all the time.
But that's good.
And it is good, and it's really
good to be challenged. If you're delivering for me, if I'm saying something and someone's like, but it could be this, I think even that is a conversation, and that's interesting.
And that's what happens. Yeah. But I remember one time I did get bad feedback though, like from the same lady, because she was, throughout the whole thing, she was just like, nah. Like there was a lot of, I don't know what she had. She might have just had a bad day, but she was the only person that really think. But in regards to young people, I've had mixed reviews. I would say more good than bad, but I would say.
It's not bad though. I'm gonna jump on the terminology. I don't think it's bad if they're saying, well, thank you for telling me, but I'm still going to eat chicken.
No, it's not bad.
It takes time. You're planting a seed. It might take a week, 3 weeks.
And this is
you might have to come back, do another session. Maybe you need to do a full program around even just having conversations and, seeing.
That's what I'm working on.
So a one-off workshop, it might not, it's hard to change as a process. It doesn't happen
100%.
overnight. So
100%. And that's what I'm
I
working
don't
on
think
right
that's
now.
bad feedback. I think that's you're planting seeds, whatever you're doing, whether it's a teacher saying, I challenge you, you're still planting seeds in the teacher. Maybe that teacher needs to eat healthier. You never know. Like, you don't know what was triggering that reaction from teachers as well. And they might be thinking from a young person's perspective. They might say, actually, the risk for young people are not these things in terms of what you're showing. The risks might be something else. But as a whole, from a generational perspective or from a population perspective, those are the statistics that you came up with. That's really interesting.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. One more thing. Apart from the food that obviously people go to chicken shop for lots of different reasons, but what else does that place serve? Because for me, I'm thinking about, like, in the last 10 years, so many youth spaces have closed. Where is a safe public space for young people to just chill? Like, and that happens to be the chicken shops.
Happens to be the chicken shop.
So what I mean? What else can we do? Is, I guess, what is the solution? If the chicken shop serves to be the place where maybe they might see their friends, it's a social place, safe space, affordable food. Realistically, if you're struggling financially, families are struggling. There's sometimes a safe place in the neighborhood. There might not be. If you're scared and you're walking home, whether you're a young person, if you're a young person, whether you're a male, female, any other identity, you might just walk into and buy. You might have £1 in your pocket, and actually, by you buying something and sitting in that shop, you might have. I don't know. I think chicken shops can also be a place where young people feel safe.
Yeah. I feel you.
So,
I feel you.
What can we do to recreate this public spaces for young people? If we're saying, actually, they can't just go there and sit because, boss man will say you need to order. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So,
facts.
And if there's one chicken shop outside of school and there's a chicken shop right outside my house, and that's the closest thing for me just to go outside and maybe get away from some of the things that young people are experiencing at home.
Yeah.
It's this catch-22, man. What else are we creating for young people? As adults, where else is safe or a public space they can just go and chill and be themselves?
Yeah, and it's hard to answer that question because there isn't hardly any, and a lot of parents don't want their kids out as well. It's not like back in the day, go out and start until the light, till street lights come off, go yard. It's not like that because there's a lot of things going on in the society. People are worried, people are anxious, and a lot of people feel like it's unsafe outside because of what's going on. And but at the same time, if you're a teenager, it's like, boy, where do I hang out? You might not live near like Westfield where you can go and just go to Westfield. And even in Westfield, you can't just chill without the security man telling you, yo, get up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And so that's a sad reality.
It's a sad reality. And it's like, where do they go? So you're right. Like the chicken shop is a place where you can link up with your friend and maybe chill if you can't go to each other's houses or the local park or whatnot. But my thing is that you can chill in the chicken shop, you know what I mean? But it's it's about that motion, innit? It's this motion of the buying of the, exchanging your money for the food. Yeah. You can chill in the chicken shop. I can go and chill in the chicken shop. Now, I don't eat chicken and chips, but I can go and chill in the chicken shop all day long because I know I'm not going to buy that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to buy it. You understand? So, you can chill in the chicken shop. You can hang with your friends, wherever. But just know, if you're going to put anything in your mouth, just know what you're doing, innit? That's all it is, innit? Just know what you're doing. They do, as a youth worker, I know we've done a lot of talks around grooming and gangs, grooming young people in chicken shops and all of that. So that's definitely something to be aware of as well.
100%. It's a risk and a safe place. It serves both.
Yeah, you understand. So it's like, and there's loads of many different factors why young people, I know why, you understand, because they just want to make money. You know what I mean? Young people see it as like, boy, if this older OG, older G in my neighborhood's gonna say, yo, come with me, you can make £300 a week, on school, you ain't making no money, what? And then they're on Instagram, they're seeing their favorite rappers talking about bus stands, they're gonna think, boy, I want to get a bus down. Like, well, you know, that £300 a week is gonna get me closer to getting the bus down. You understand?
Yeah.
You know, and so there's loads of different elements and things that play a part in what we're talking about. I think the food element is a big element.
Yeah.
Not spoken about as much as it should be in regards to young people's mind state and why they make certain choices. Definitely ain't spoken about enough. And my job is to really try and speak up about it. But like I always keep saying, like you said today, planting the seed. No, it's not going to happen overnight. No, it's not going to happen over 2 nights. Yeah, but what will happen is that the more information that you receive, you'll slowly start to be part of your lifestyle. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you'll slowly start to realize, like, boy, I'm important, innit?
Yeah.
Like me, my health is important. Yes, I love my mom, I love my dad, I love my sister, but I'm important. I need to take care of me first. And how am I going to take care of me, you know? And be around the right people, you know? And I always talk about, like, it's not only just about the food you eat, it's about the surroundings that you're around as well, you know? You could be the healthiest guy in the world, but if all your friends are robbers and they're always talking about, yo, we're going to rob this bank, we're going to rob that, we're going to rob, you're going to slightly be influenced and you think, you know what? You understand what I'm saying? And we get involved in this conversation. But then if you're around, so it's all about who you're around, you know, and what you're digesting. What are you looking on your phone? Are you just looking at pure hip hop bus stands and this every day? You know, are you loads of people swearing and doing vulgar stuff online? Or are you watching conscious videos? Are you watching things in relation to what you're interested in? Like in regards to, I don't know, if you want to do swimming, are you watching the best technique to do the backstrokes? Like, are you watching things that's going to benefit, you know, what you're doing? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What information are you putting inside your mind, you know, and who you're around? You know, I realized when I was younger that I had to leave my neighborhood to get peace of mind. Some people, unfortunately, can't do that, you know, but it's like all these elements matter. You understand? And it's so subtle. It's so subtle that you don't realize it until you realize, then you start to think, like, why am I always just anxious? Like, why am I always, you know what I mean? And then and then sometimes it just takes that, you know, for you to think, boy, my man, he's always negative, you know, like every time he comes to my house, he's always moaning about this or moaning about that, and he's moaning about, and like he's just making me like moan, and I'm moaning, you know, like, so maybe he's your friend and you love him, but maybe you might have to just move away from him and, you know, and start doing things that's gonna, where you're less, you can't, you know, you're less, what's the word? There's less contact, you know, like you got to kind of keep certain people at arm's length and see who's coming into your life. Is this person going to be a benefit to me, or is this person going to be detrimental to what I'm trying? Do you get what I'm saying? And I think like being aware of that definitely helps, and you shouldn't feel bad if you need to step away from some people in your life, man.
Yeah.
You know, trust me.
It's so important. I feel like a quote from Nipsey, he talks about if your circle is not motivating you, then it's a cage. And that's,
it's a cage.
It's people around you who's uplifting you. Yeah, your circle is important. Your circle is important.
So imagine you mix that, it's a gumbo, you mix that with the food that you're eating. You get what I'm saying? Your environment, like, yeah, you get me? So like, it's all of that. It's kind of just being aware in it, and it's hard as a young person because you don't really see anything above your age group. When you're like 16, you don't even really see like adults and what adult life is like. You don't really understand. Like, you're just in your bubble. You know what I mean? Your school life. School is so important to you, like your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and these things are mad important. Like, you know what I mean? You just don't see like, you just don't see in it that, you know what I mean? But I think what I've been going back to your question earlier, and I think I do kind of give it to social media as well, it has made a lot of teenagers in this day and age more awake. They're more aware than how we was when we was growing up, because they're more exposed to certain things. Do you get what I'm saying? I personally think there's pros and cons of social media, of course.
Yeah, like everything else.
Yeah, like everything else. But I feel like social media slightly helped them. That's why I feel like when I do my presentations, some of them get, a lot of them, like, they get where I'm going with this. Like, it's not just this total shutdown. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because since COVID, there's been loads of things about health and looking after yourself, and these kids are seeing this. You understand? They're seeing it. They're seeing it, man. So I don't know.
What would be, I mean, yes, you've been delivering the silent killer in schools, but I know you're also trying out something tomorrow. So you're delivering a session tomorrow as well?
Yeah. So I'm delivering a session with 3 Pillars in partnership. So it's a taster session. Nice. So with this, it's different. So I do talk about the same kind of elements, you know, in regards to the silent killer and, you know, what's killing us the most and the statistics and environment. I do talk about all of that, but it's more based towards adults, older heads, you know, older and ex-offenders, you know. So I believe that's the cohort of young, you know, people I'm going to be speaking to tomorrow in regards to the PNM system, which I created, which is physical, nutrition, and mental health. So it will be, so tomorrow's a taster session to see if this will be something they would like to get involved in. So it's basically going to be a 6-week. So basically, I've done an 8-week program in summer, the Healthy Mind, Healthy Grind program, 8 weeks. It was 1 week, you had a nutritional session with a nutritionist. The next week, you do a cooking session. It was all online. And then we done it back to back. And then every day, so everyone was given a workbook. And the workbook, every day you had to write down what you did physically, nutritionally, what you ate nutritionally, and what you did for your mental health, PNM.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So every day, so you write it down. So you might say, okay, I went for a walk for 20 minutes today. I ate avocado on toast in the morning. I drank lemon, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, you write it down. For my mental health, you know, I had a nice relaxing bath. You know, I played with my son. I played a bit of computer game, whatever. Yeah. So you write that down. That's day one. And then you do it every day. And then every 2 weeks, we have an accountability session where everyone sits down and we say, right, how's your week been, Milka? How's it been for the past couple of weeks? And then you look at your book, you'd be like, yeah, you know, I saw last week I was doing this, but then, you know, on Friday I fell off, you know, this happened. And then we'll discuss it, you know, then you say, oh, so what happened on Friday? Oh yeah, you know, my girlfriend, this happened. And you know what I mean? Or whatever. And we have that talk, okay, what could you have done to avoid that? And, you know, then we have a group session. Let's celebrate your wins. What did you do well? Okay, I made sure that every day I drank X amount of liters of water and I didn't drink no Coca-Cola. That's a win. You get me? Celebrate that. You know what I mean? Everyone will be like, yeah, that's good, Milk. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like you feel, a bit uplifted. And that's basically what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. And if the people that I speak to, I don't know who they are, I don't know until I get there, but if the people that I speak to tomorrow are like, yeah, this workshop sounds great, sounds like something that I want to get involved in, then what will happen is we go back to 3 Pillars, we have that conversation of getting some funding and maybe hopefully facilitating it next year.
Amazing.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, thank you, man. So yeah, it's just basically a program that I had running. I ran the program, it went well. And but it's mainly like I said, it's kind of strict. And you'll be in the Telegram group as well. So then every day I'll message like in the group, or anyone can message and just be like, yo, how's your day going? Or, you know, take pictures of what you cook. So you might cook a pasta bake.
Oh, that's really good. So you've got the group support, you've got the check-in with yourself because you're physically writing down what you've done yourself.
Right, so exactly.
You're on a journey.
You're on a journey for 6 weeks.
On a journey. Wow.
Yeah. And then at the end, ideally, everybody should. So basically, at the beginning, you got to write a goal in it. You got to say, I aim to, like I said earlier, I don't know, drink more water every day. You know, I want to stop drinking fizzy drink. That could be your goal. You know what I mean? Yeah. So then at the end of the 6 weeks, you can see how much water you've drunk, how much what you've been doing, how much exercise you've been doing. And you can be like, right, you know what? I've lost a little couple pounds. You know, I feel a bit this, I feel that. And then you kind of, you know, you can see, and then you've got the workbook to you know, if you've been writing in it every day, you know. So and then basically it's just and then after the work, the program's done, the whole aim of it is that you will just continue to do it. You don't necessarily have to write things down every day if you don't have to, but if you want to, you can. You know, the workbook's there, you can always just download it. And now you've kind of programmed your mind
Yeah.
to do something like this every day. So now it should just become second nature. You get up in the morning, first thing you want to do is eat something healthy because you've been doing it for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
It becomes a habit, right?
Exactly, that's the word. So that's basically the end of the goal, or the end of the program, is that everybody, it just gains this as a habit. It's just a habit now.
Okay.
You get me? So I'm saying, just get up in the morning, you just think, well, I've got to do something, exercise, I've got to do a couple of push-ups, eat something healthy, boom. Like, it just becomes normal. And then you'll see after X amount of months, whatever you're working towards, whether it's becoming starting a business, getting a new job, whatever you desiring to, whatever you desire to, whatever your desires are, you'll start to feel better doing it. Like I was saying, healthy mind, healthy grind, because your grind will be healthy now. So you'll feel more alert. You might get up earlier now, less lethargic, more on point. Want to send these emails now. Your energy is a bit more up now because you've been on this journey. So that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. And if people sign up, then hopefully we can get.
Yeah, man, it sounds amazing. So what's your vision? Where are you thinking of? There's so much of the work that you've done, but where do you want to go, and are there any challenges for you? I think we have so many different conversations with lots of different people, but what's your vision? Just to close off, what's your vision? What would you like to see yourself doing? And also, are there challenges? What are the blockers for you to get in there?
All right. So to answer your question in regards to vision, the blockers, I would say for me, it's like funding. That's a lot of people's. When I speak to organizations or people running, and that, because I'm a small organization, I'm not massive, and funding for me is it is challenging. Like, I know people that are finding it hard. I'm finding it hard. It's like applying. You're thinking, oh man, I want to get this, this bit of pot of money right here, and you get the no. The first when I open the letter and I just see, unfortunately, I just I don't even want to read the rest of the guy. I just know what it's gonna say, or the email, and that's unfortunately, I'm just but so that's my thing.
Okay. And that will help you be sustainable, right? So if you could do the work long term with young people, long term with people that have lived experience of the criminal justice system, long term with the community, whoever you're working with, it will be more sustainable. Okay.
Exactly. So ideally, that I'm a CIC now, so I want to start, charging obviously for my service, but I don't want to charge the people that really, really need it. That's why I want to go for funding, because I know there's some people that can't afford it or whatnot, but they need the help, but they can't afford it. You know what I mean? So it's like that. I think for me, that's just my only real blockage. And team as well. Like, I haven't right now. I'm a bit of a one-man band. You know what I mean? Because some of my team's been dismantled. People, some of my other colleague that I was working with, he lives in Dubai now. So everybody, kind of things. So at this moment of time, I'm kind of one-man banding it. So it's a bit tough because I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. Like I got hands, so it's a bit crazy. So that's I would say, hurdles for now, in trying to get to it, my projects. Because I don't only just do the health and wellness stuff, I do music projects as well, you know what I mean? So, so I've got, work to what's tomorrow? Wednesday, yeah? So on Thursday, I've got a workshop with the Jazz Festival. I'm partnered with them, to do like a live music. So I'm working with the college as well, another college, and we're going to do like someone from the Jazz Festival is coming down, one of the artists, and we're going to do a masterclass, with them, and I had to facilitate the whole thing because I created the partnership. So I'm doing that. Then I've got like an online music platform called the Library Sessions for undiscovered talent. So I worked with
that's amazing.
Partnership. So I'm doing that, and so I'm trying to get like enough content so I can start getting commissions to do it full time and stuff like that. So there's so many different things that I'm doing, and I think my aim, my long-term vision is to basically be known, to be an organization known to create good musical media content, and also like with the, with young people in the community and stuff like that, good quality, content online, musical and art and all that kind of stuff, because that's how I started. That was the foundations of Soul and Sound. And the health and wellness. I want to create basically make it a center. So what I'm looking at now is a space where everybody can come.
Okay.
It's a center for, it's a health and wellness hub, but it's also a creative hub as well. You know, so you can do music, podcast stuff in there, and then you got food getting served, but it's all vegan, plant-based. You know, there's activities going on during the day.
Wow.
You know, workshops. So it's just one hub. So I'm actually working on it right now. You know, I'm in talks with the council. I've got a space. You know,
you've got a space as well.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I'm just working on it. I need to develop it. You know, give it a lick of paint.
Yeah.
Like there's loads of things that needs to be done, and once that gets done, then the hub's going to be ready, hopefully by like next year. I'll say spring. Okay. You know, ideally, yeah. That's so fingers crossed. And I just want to be known for that, man. You know, Soul and Sound is what we do. You want to come here, you want to get involved in music, art, media. You can do that. You want to learn about eating healthy, you know, food growing. You want to learn about, you know, whatever in regards, you know, you want to do some yoga classes. You know, there's facilitators there that can do that. You know, if you want to learn about herbs, whatever you want to learn about in regards to health and wellness, you can do that also. It's just a place to come and you can get the best of both worlds. Because as you know, music releases good, you know, vibes and good situations. It's therapeutic. Definitely. You know, so it all goes together. It all goes together. So,
it really does. And then if people are growing the food, they can cook the food. It's a cycle, right?
And where we are, right where we are is right next to a farm, the organic farm still. So they grow a lot of food there. Okay. So where we are, the plot of land is literally stuck. I can throw a stone. So I was talking to them today. They was like, you'll give us food if you ain't got no, you know, if you're not growing your own stuff on site, you can get food from us.
Wow.
So I'm like, listen, man, it's like a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
It makes sense. It all makes sense. And it's all coming together. Honestly, I feel inspired just hearing your journey, just like you working on yourself to be able to go into schools, to be able to deliver and support other people. I think there's an element where you said you had to do the work on yourself and actually
had to,
like your journey from a physical perspective, but also from a mindset, from a mental health perspective, like you looking after yourself first to then be able to support other people. And I think that's an important thing for a lot of youth workers. Yeah. Sometimes we're in a place of just giving and compassion, and so much where we just pour out and we don't always pour in. And I think that's
pour in.
Yeah.
You have to pour in first. Yeah, man, you have to. You have to. Sounds selfish, but you've got to look up.
It's not. It's self-care. It's a
self-care. Yeah, it is. It's self-care, man. You have to, man. It's number one. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you don't want to keel over and pass away or get some mad illness because you ain't been doing it. Yeah. You know, so like, and these things happen, man. People, you know, dropping like flies every day. Like, I know it sounds morbid, but it's the facts, you know. And it's like, we don't want to be like, oh man, only if I did, you know, drink this, only if I did do this when I should have, I knew I should have done it, because everybody knows. In the subconscious mind, you know, innit? When I was a fat guy and I was 19, I knew I needed, I'm looking at my belly, I knew, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I knew, innit? But it was like, I just weren't ready to take them steps. I was just like, tomorrow, next week. You know, when my friends would come, oh, Mars, man, come, like, I'm like, yeah. You know, like, but I knew, but I just didn't want to take, I was too lazy to take action. Okay. And why wait until it's too late? Why wait until you're in the hospital, mash up? You know, why? You understand?
Is there, so I'm just thinking, just to round off, how can people follow your journey? How can people support social media? How can they find you? What would be your...
Well, my Instagram is at healthymind.healthygrind. Okay. That's my Instagram. So healthymind.healthygrind. You at that on Instagram, and that's my journey. Okay. My personal journey. You see me every day going for a walk, whatever I'm eating, whatever I'm doing. You know, I'm not no fitness. I say it on my last post, I got a picture of me, like when I was 19 stone to a picture of me now, and I talk about it, you know, like, I'm not a fitness guru. I'm not in the gym going, you know, follow me. I'm not no inch guy. Like, I still got a little bit of a tum-tum, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm on my journey to get there, you know, and it's like, I want people that are following me to watch what I'm doing follow me on my journey as well. Start their own journey. If they've got their own journey, they might be further than me, and they could give me some tips. Yo, Mars, check out this thing, check out that. You understand? And I'll be like, okay, because I'm learning from other people. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
I learn. I'm like, wow, what's this that he's drinking? What's that? And he's like, oh yeah, you know, but I'll say, okay, I'm gonna try that. Where'd you get that from? You know, it's all of that. You know, so yeah, I got that, and then my website. Go to my website, the organization soulandsound.com. So www.soul, SOUL and AND sound SOUND.com.
Okay.
You know, and you'll see all the projects that we've done over the years, all the health and wellness stuff that I'm doing. And yeah, man, that's basically my life. That's it. You know,
no, honestly, it's been so good just connecting, just hearing. Yeah, there's so many things I've literally just learned in this conversation. So
oh wow.
Yeah, man, thank you for your time. And yeah, everyone follow Marcel Mars on you know, Instagram, LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, as you're on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn as well, Marcel Andrew. So I've got my government name, Marcel, Marcel, Andrew, no S, Andrew. That's why I met Milka. I reached out to Milka. I saw her. You know, I was like, wow, like I see what she's doing. I was like, you know what? She looks interesting. So I just reached out to her, you know, and that's another thing. Don't be afraid to reach out to people you don't know, because you don't know who can, because through knowing you, Milka, you link me up with 3 pillars. Nah, I'm going to do a workshop with 3 pillars. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, and you just don't know, you know, like I've met people, I've helped people, you know, to certain places, like, you know, and giving them the links. Go and talk to this person, he will help you. You understand? Don't be shy to like just reach out to strangers, man. Like, because I feel like one big problem as well within our community is that we feel like, you know, we ostracize ourselves, you know, like where the man them like, nah, I'm not part of this world. Like, this is, you know, this is my world, the hood. You know, do you understand what I'm saying? And don't be shy to step out your comfort zone. If you're from Brixton, Tottenham, don't be shy to talk to a white guy from Cambridge. You understand? Don't be shy to talk to an Asian lady from wherever the hell she's from. You understand? And it don't matter what age she is. You get me? You're going to learn something from everybody.
100%. I agree.
You understand? Don't be shy. And like, I don't care what they say, you're from the hood, you're this and that. No, you're human. You're a human being. You got something to bring to this world, just like someone else has. So that's why I talk to anyone. I don't give a shit. People say I talk too much. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care. Sorry, I know I swore. I shouldn't swear.
You're good. You're good. But yeah, thank you for your time, Marcel. Have a good one. Look after yourself.
No problem.
Thank you for everyone as well. Peace. Take care. Bye.
Take care.